My name is Liana Brooks. I am 29 years old, and 3 nights ago, I found something in my husband's car that destroyed my life. It was just a phone. A small black phone, hidden under the driver's seat. First, it didn't make sense, because my husband already had a phone. So why was there another one? My hand froze the moment I saw it. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. Picked it up slowly. My heart started beating faster. It was turned off. No notifications. No sound. Just silence. But that silence felt heavy, like it was hiding something. I don't know why, but I turned it on. And the moment the screen lit up, my whole body went cold. What I saw next, I wish I never saw. Before I tell you what was on that phone, please like and subscribe to the channel. And tell me where you're watching from. Now let me start from the beginning. That day felt completely normal. Nothing strange. Nothing unusual. I woke up early. Made breakfast. My husband was already dressed for work. He smiled at me like he always did. Warm. Calm. Familiar. Big meeting today, he said. I nodded and handed him his coffee. Don't forget lunch, I told him. He laughed softly. I won't. Everything felt perfect. Too perfect. If I had known what I know now, I would have paid more attention. Before he left, he kissed my forehead. Take care, he said. There was something gentle in his voice. Something real. At least, I thought it was real. After he left, I cleaned the kitchen. Then I remembered something. He had asked me to grab a file from his car the night before. He forgot it again. I sighed and grabbed my keys. I wasn't thinking much. Just a normal task. Just another ordinary moment. But that moment changed everything. I walked outside. The air felt quiet. Too quiet. I reached his car and opened the door. The familiar smell hit me. His cologne. Coffee. And something else. Something I couldn't place. I stepped inside. Looked around. The file was on the passenger seat. Exactly where he said it would be. Picked it up. And that should have been it. I should have just walked away. But something made me pause. A strange feeling. Like something was watching me. I don't know why. But I looked down. And that's when I saw it. A corner of something. Barely visible under the seat. First I thought it was trash. Maybe an old receipt. But it didn't look like paper. It looked solid. My heart skipped a beat. I leaned down slowly. My fingers shaking. And I pulled it out. A phone. Not his phone. Not mine. A different one. Hidden. Carefully. Like it wasn't meant to be found. I froze. For a few seconds, I couldn't even breathe. Why would he hide a phone? My mind started racing. Maybe it's old. Maybe it's broken. Maybe it belongs to someone else. I tried to calm myself down. But something didn't feel right. Something felt off. I turned it over in my hand. No cracks. No dust. It looked new. Too new. My heart started pounding harder. No, this is nothing, I whispered. But deep inside, I knew it wasn't nothing. I pressed the power button. Nothing happened. Dead. Or turned off. I don't know why. But I didn't stop. I held the button longer. And then, the screen lit up. My breath caught in my throat. It was locked. Of course it was. For a moment I felt relief. Maybe I wouldn't see anything. Maybe I should just put it back. Pretend I never found it. But then, something happened. A notification appeared. Just for a second. But it was enough. A name. And one sentence. That was all. But it was enough to make my hands shake. It said, I miss you. Last night wasn't enough. My heart stopped. I froze. No, this can't be what I think it is. There has to be an explanation. There has to be. I stared at the screen, waiting for it to disappear, hoping I imagined it. But I didn't. It was real. Very real. My chest felt tight. I couldn't breathe properly. My husband. No. He wouldn't. He couldn't. I shook my head. No, you're overthinking, I whispered. But my hands were trembling. And deep inside, something was breaking. I tried to unlock it. My fingers moved without thinking. I entered his birthday. Wrong. I tried our anniversary. Wrong. I tried my name. Still wrong. My heart sank. Why was I trying so hard? Why did it matter so much? Because I already knew. I just didn't want to accept it. I looked at the phone again, and then something else caught my eye. A small scratch on the back. I had seen that before. Somewhere. Recently. My mind started racing, and then it hit me. 2 weeks ago, I saw him using a phone like this. Late at night. He said it was for work. He said it was temporary. I believed him. I trusted him. But now nothing made sense. I felt sick. Everything inside me felt heavy. But that wasn't even the worst part. Because what I discovered next changed everything. I stared at the phone in my hand. My fingers felt cold. My mind wouldn't slow down. That message kept repeating in my head. I miss you. Last night wasn't enough. Last night. He was home last night. With me. We had dinner together. We watched TV. He fell asleep next to me. So what did that message mean? My heart started racing again. Something wasn't adding up. Something was very wrong. I looked around like someone might be watching me. The street was empty. Silent. I was alone. But I didn't feel alone. I felt like I had just stepped into something I didn't understand. I swallowed hard. Then I made a decision. I wasn't putting the phone back. Not yet. I sat in the car. Closed the door slowly. My hands still shaking. I tried the passcode again. Different combinations. Different dates. Nothing worked. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Think. I whispered to myself. Think. What would he use? What mattered to him? I tried his birthday again. Slower this time. Still wrong. I tried his work ID numbers. Wrong. Then I paused. A memory flashed in my mind. A number he used often. Something simple. Something he once told me he never forgets. My heart started beating faster. I typed it in. And for a second, nothing happened. Then the screen unlocked. I froze. My stomach dropped. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for what I might see. But it was too late. The phone was open. And everything was right there. Waiting for me. I hesitated. Just for a second. Then I opened the messages. And that's when everything shattered. There were dozens of chats. Dozens. Different names. Some saved. Some not. But one thread was pinned at the top. My hand trembled as I tapped it. The same name from the notification. And then, the messages loaded. My heart stopped. Photos. Messages. Voice notes. All of it. I couldn't breathe. I scrolled slowly. Every word hitting me harder than the last. I can't stop thinking about you. Last night was perfect. I wish she knew the truth. My vision blurred. She. That was me. They were talking about me. My hands started shaking uncontrollably. No, this isn't real. This can't be real. But it was. Every message made it clearer. This wasn't just a mistake. This wasn't just one time. This had been going on for months. Maybe longer. I kept scrolling. Even though it was killing me. Even though I wanted to stop. But I couldn't. Because I needed to know. I needed the truth. And then, I saw a photo. My breath caught. It was him. My husband. Smiling. Happy. Standing next to a woman I had never seen before. Her hand on his chest. Like she belonged there. Like I didn't. My whole body went numb. I felt like I was falling. But I was sitting still. I dropped the phone on my lap. My hands covered my mouth. Tears filled my eyes instantly. But I didn't cry. Not yet. I couldn't. I was in shock. Pure shock. But that wasn't even the worst part. Because something else caught my attention. A message. Sent just a few hours ago. I picked the phone up again. Slowly. Carefully. Like it might explode. And I read it. Did you tell her anything? My heart skipped a beat. Tell me what? My fingers trembled as I scrolled. His reply was right below. No. She doesn't suspect anything. I froze. Completely. My chest tightened. This wasn't just cheating. There was something else. Something deeper. Something darker. I kept reading. Every line pulling me deeper. She's starting to notice small things. That's fine. Just stay calm. Once everything is done, we won't have to hide anymore. My breathing became uneven. What does that mean? What is everything? My mind started spinning. And then I saw it. The message that changed everything. The one I wish I never read. She signed the papers, right? My heart stopped. Papers? What papers? My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone. I scrolled up. Faster this time. Desperate. Searching. And then I found it. A photo. A document. My name on it. My signature. My vision blurred again. No. That was the paper he asked me to sign last week. He said it was for insurance. He said it was routine. I didn't even read it. I trusted him. I signed it without thinking. My whole body went cold. I looked at the message under the photo. It's done. Everything is under my control now. I couldn't breathe. Everything under his control? What does that mean? My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it. I felt sick, like I was about to collapse. But I kept reading, because I needed to know how far this went. And then, I saw something that made my blood run cold. A message from him. To be safe, we should wait a little longer. Accidents raise suspicion. I froze. My hands went numb. Accidents? What accidents? My mind went blank, then filled with fear. Pure fear. This wasn't just betrayal. This wasn't just lies. This was something else. Something dangerous. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. All I could feel was fear crawling through my body. And then it hit me. A memory. 2 days ago. The stairs. I slipped. Fell hard. He rushed to help me. Held me. Asked if I was okay. I thought it was an accident. But now I wasn't so sure. My heart started racing again. What if it wasn't an accident? What if? No, I can't think like that. But the messages, they didn't lie. They were planning something. Something involving me. Something bad. Very bad. I dropped the phone again. This time it hit the floor. I didn't even pick it up. I just sat there. Frozen. Broken. Trying to breathe. Trying to understand. But nothing made sense anymore. The man I trusted. The man I loved. The man I shared my life with. Was hiding something. Something dark. And I had just found it. But deep down, I knew this wasn't the end. This was just the beginning. I sat there in the car. Frozen. My hands were still shaking. My heart wouldn't slow down. I kept staring at the phone on the floor. Like it was something dangerous. Something alive. Something I shouldn't have touched. But I already had. And now, there was no going back. I bent down slowly. Picked it up again. My fingers felt numb. Like they didn't belong to me. I told myself to stop. To put it back. To forget everything. But I couldn't. Because one question kept echoing in my mind. What were they planning? I swallowed hard. And opened the messages again. This time, I went deeper. Further up. Older messages. Weeks ago. Months ago. Every scroll made it worse. Way worse. They weren't just talking about meeting. Or hiding. They were planning. Carefully. Step by step. Like everything was calculated. Every move. Every word. And then I saw something that made my chest tighten. A message from her. What about the house? My breath caught. The house? That's our house. I kept reading. He won't question it, my husband replied. She trusts me completely. I felt something inside me crack. Completely. That word. Trust. I gave him everything. And he used it against me. I kept scrolling. I couldn't stop now. I needed the full truth. No matter how much it hurt. And then, I saw a date. Tomorrow. My heart skipped. They had plans. Something was going to happen tomorrow. I read the message. Tomorrow night. It's the perfect time. My hands started shaking again. Perfect time for what? I scrolled down. Faster now. Desperate. Looking for answers. And then I found it. The message that made everything clear. Too clear. After tomorrow, everything will be ours. I froze. Everything ours? That meant one thing. They were planning to take everything from me. Not just the house. Everything. My money. My life. My future. My breathing became heavy. Uneven. I felt like I was suffocating. And then another message. The one that made my blood run cold. Make sure she's alone. I stopped breathing. Completely. My vision blurred. My hands went ice cold. Alone? Why did I need to be alone? My mind started racing again. Fast. Too fast. And then I remembered. Tomorrow night. He told me he'd be working late. He told me to stay home. To rest. To relax. My heart dropped. No. This wasn't a coincidence. This was planned. Everything was planned. I felt fear take over my entire body. Real fear. The kind that makes you feel small. Helpless. Trapped. I looked around again. The empty street. The quiet air. Everything felt different now. Unsafe. Like I wasn't in control anymore. I pressed my hand against my chest, trying to calm my breathing, trying to think. What do I do now? Do I confront him? Do I run? Do I pretend I don't know? My mind was spinning, but one thing was clear. I couldn't go home like nothing happened. I couldn't face him. Not like this. Not after what I just saw. But then another thought hit me. What if they already suspected something? What if he knew I found the phone? My heart started pounding again. I checked the time. He would be back soon. Too soon. I didn't have much time. I needed to decide. Now, I looked at the phone again. Then something clicked in my mind. Evidence. I needed proof. If I was going to survive this, I needed proof. My hands moved quickly now. I took out my own phone. Started taking pictures. Screenshots. Messages. Photos. Everything. Every single thing. My fingers were moving fast. But my heart was still racing. Because every second felt dangerous. Like I was being watched. Like time was running out. When I was done, I turned the phone off again. Exactly how I found it. And slowly, carefully, I slid it back under the seat. Like nothing ever happened. Like I never saw it. But everything had changed. Everything. I stepped out of the car. Closed the door. My legs felt weak. Like I might collapse any second. But I forced myself to walk. Back inside the house. Every step felt heavy. Like I was walking into something I couldn't escape. I entered the house. Silence. Everything looked normal. The same walls. The same furniture. The same life. But it didn't feel the same anymore. Felt like a lie. A complete lie. I sat down slowly. My hands still trembling. Trying to breathe. Trying to stay calm. Because I knew one thing. Tonight, I had to act normal. No matter what. Because tomorrow could decide everything. And I wasn't ready. Not yet. But deep inside, I knew something terrifying. I wasn't just dealing with betrayal anymore. I was in danger. Real danger. And the worst part? The man I trusted the most was the one I needed to fear. I sat there for a long time. Not moving. Not thinking. Just staring. My mind felt empty. But my chest felt heavy. Like something was pressing down on me. I tried to breathe slowly. In, out, but it didn't help. Because every time I closed my eyes, I saw those messages again. Make sure she's alone. After tomorrow, everything will be ours. My heart started racing again. No, I couldn't break now. Not yet. I had to stay calm. I had to think. Because if I made one mistake, just one, I didn't know what would happen to me. I stood up slowly. My legs felt weak, but I forced myself to move. I walked into the kitchen, poured myself a glass of water. My hands were shaking so much. Some of it spilled. I didn't even wipe it. I just drank. Slowly, trying to steady myself. Then I heard it. The sound that made my entire body freeze. The front door opening. My heart stopped. He was home. Already? I wasn't ready. Not at all. I quickly put the glass down. Wiped my hands on my clothes. Tried to breathe. Tried to look normal. Footsteps. Slow. Calm. Familiar. Every step made my chest tighter. Then he walked in. And there he was. My husband. Standing in front of me. Looking exactly the same. The same face. The same eyes. The same man I thought I knew. Hey, he said softly. Like nothing was wrong. Like everything was normal. I forced a small smile. Hey. My voice almost broke. But I held it together. Barely. He walked closer. Put his bag down. Looked at me carefully. For a moment, I thought he knew. I thought he could see everything on my face. But he didn't say anything. "You okay?" he asked. My heart skipped. Was that suspicion? Or just concern? "I'm fine," I said quickly. Too quickly. I could feel it. That small crack in my voice. But he didn't react. Or maybe he was pretending not to. He nodded slowly. "Long day," he said. I nodded back. "Yeah." Silence. Heavy silence. Felt suffocating. Like the walls were closing in. I turned away, busying myself with nothing, just to avoid his eyes, as I knew, if I looked at him too long, I might break, I might scream, I might ask him everything, but I couldn't. Not yet. Dinner felt unreal. We sat across from each other. Like always. Same table. Same plates. Same routine. But everything felt different. Every word felt fake. Every movement felt forced. He talked about work, meetings, deadlines, normal things. I nodded, answered when needed, but I wasn't really there. My mind was somewhere else. On that phone. On those messages. On tomorrow. Then suddenly, he said something that made my heart stop. "I might be late tomorrow." My hand froze. There it was. The plan. Right in front of me. I looked up at him. Carefully. "Late?" I asked, trying to sound normal. "Yeah," he said. "Important work stuff." My chest tightened. "Important. Right." I forced a small nod. "Okay." But inside, everything was screaming. After dinner he stood up. Came closer. And then, he did something that broke me even more. He touched my shoulder gently. "You should rest tomorrow," he said. His voice soft. Caring. Fake. "Stay home. Don't go anywhere." My heart dropped. There it was. Clear. Direct. Exactly what the messages said. Make sure she's alone. I felt cold. Ice cold. But I nodded. "Yeah, I will." He smiled. That same smile. The one I used to love. Now it felt wrong. Everything about him felt wrong. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not even for a second. I lay next to him. Listening to his breathing. Slow. Calm. Peaceful. Like nothing was wrong. Like he wasn't planning something. Something terrible. I turned my head slightly. Looked at him. In the dark. And for the first time, I felt fear. Not sadness. Not anger. Fear. Real fear. The kind that makes your stomach twist. The kind that makes your hands cold. Who was this man? Was he ever real? Or was everything a lie from the beginning? I didn't know anymore. But one thing was clear. Tomorrow, something was going to happen. And I had to be ready. No matter what. The next morning came too fast. I barely moved all night. Barely blinked. But I got up anyway. Acted normal. Like always. He got ready for work. Drank his coffee. Checked his phone. Everything looked the same. But now, I could see it. The small things. The way he avoided eye contact sometimes. The way he smiled just a little too late. The way he checked the time. Like he was waiting for something. Or someone. Before he left. He kissed my forehead again. "Take care," he said. My heart twisted. Those same words. Again. But now they felt different. Cold. Empty. "I will," I replied. He looked at me for a second longer. Then turned and walked out. The door closed. And just like that, I was alone. Exactly how they wanted. Silence filled the house. Heavy. Uncomfortable. I stood there. Not moving. My heart beating fast. This was it. This was the moment. Whatever they plan, it would happen today. And I had two choices. Stay. And risk everything. Or leave. Before it was too late. I took a deep breath. Closed my eyes. Tried to think. But then, something inside me changed. I wasn't going to run. Not yet. Because I needed the truth. The full truth. And I needed to end this. On my terms. I opened my eyes slowly. And whispered to myself. Let's see what you're planning. But deep down, I knew something. Something terrifying. I wasn't just walking into the truth. I was walking into a trap. The house felt different that morning. Too quiet. Too still. Like it was waiting. Waiting for something to happen. I stood in the middle of the living room, listening. Every small sound felt louder. The ticking clock, the hum of the fridge, even my own breathing. I checked the time. 9:12 a.m. Too early. Whatever they plan. It wasn't now. I needed to be smart, careful. I couldn't just sit and wait. I needed control. So I did something simple. Something small, but important. I grabbed my phone and called someone I trusted. Maya, my best friend. The only person I knew wouldn't judge me. She picked up on the second ring. "Hey, you okay?" she asked. Her voice calm, normal. I almost broke right there, but I held it in. "I need to tell you something," I said quietly. Something in my tone changed everything. She went silent for a second. "Tell me." So I did. Not everything. Not yet. But enough. About the phone. The messages. The plan. The fear. When I finished, there was silence. Heavy silence. Then she spoke. "You need to leave." Her voice was firm. Serious. "No," I said quickly. "I can't." "Why?" she asked. "Because I need proof," I whispered. "I need everything." She paused. I could hear her thinking. "Okay," she said slowly. "Then you don't stay alone." My heart skipped. "What do you mean?" "I'm coming over." "No," I said immediately. Too fast. Too scared. "What if he sees you?" "He won't," she said. "And even if he does, you won't be alone." I hesitated. Part of me wanted her there. Needed her there. But another part was afraid. Afraid of what might happen. Afraid of making things worse. "I'll stay on call," she added softly. "You won't be alone. I promise." I closed my eyes. Took a deep breath. "Okay." "Good," she said. "Call me if anything feels off." Everything already felt off. But I didn't say that. "I will." I hung up slowly, my hand still shaking. At least now, I wasn't completely alone. But time kept moving. Slowly. Painfully. Every minute felt longer than the last. I tried to act normal. Cleaned the house. Made coffee. Turned on the TV. But I couldn't focus. Because every second, I was waiting. Waiting for something to happen. And then, around 6:47 p.m., it did. I heard it. A sound outside. My heart jumped. I froze. Listened carefully. Footsteps. Not his. Too light. Too slow. My breathing became uneven. This was it. This was happening. I reached for my phone. My hands shaking badly. I called Maya. She picked up instantly. "I hear something," I whispered. "Stay calm," she said. "I'm here." I nodded. Even though she couldn't see me, the sound got closer. Then, a knock. Soft. Almost gentle. My heart was pounding so loud I thought they could hear it. Another knock. This time louder. I didn't move. Didn't speak. Just stood there. Frozen. Then a voice. "Open the door." My blood ran cold. I knew that voice. I had heard it before. But I couldn't place it. "Not yet." "Open the door," the voice repeated. My chest tightened. My mind screamed at me to run. To hide. But my body wouldn't move. Then, the handle moved. My heart stopped. They had a key. The door opened slowly. And the moment I saw who walked in, my entire world shattered. It wasn't a stranger. It wasn't someone random. It was someone I knew. Someone I trusted. Someone I never expected. I froze. Completely. "Hello," they said softly. A chill ran down my spine. My voice barely came out. "Why are you here?" They smiled. But it wasn't a kind smile. It felt wrong. Cold. Calculated. And then they said something. That made everything clear. "He told me you'd be alone." My heart dropped. Everything inside me went numb. They stepped inside. Closed the door behind them. Slowly. Carefully. Like they had all the time in the world. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't just a plan. This was already in motion. And I was right in the middle of it. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I just stood there staring, trying to understand what I was seeing. But my mind refused to accept it. Because the person standing in front of me was someone I trusted. Someone I never thought could hurt me. It was my husband's business partner, Daniel. I had met him so many times before. At dinners, at events, at our house. He used to laugh with us, sit at our table, call me family. And now, he was standing inside my house, uninvited, unwanted, dangerous. My throat went dry. Why are you here? I asked again, my voice shaking. He didn't answer right away. He just looked at me, calm, too calm, like this was normal, like I was the one overreacting. Then he smiled slightly. He said you'd ask that. My heart dropped. He said, my husband. This was real. All of it. You shouldn't be here, I whispered. My hands were trembling, but I tried to stay strong, tried not to show fear. But he saw it. I could tell, because his smile grew just a little. You're alone, right? He asked casually. My chest tightened. I didn't answer. I couldn't, 'cause if I spoke, I might break. He took a step closer. Slow, careful, measured. Every step made my heart pound louder. I don't want any trouble, I said quickly, my voice cracking now. Just leave. He stopped, tilted his head slightly, like he was studying me. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. That's not how this works. My stomach dropped. What do you mean? I whispered, but deep down, I already knew. He looked around the house, calm, relaxed, like he owned the place. Then his eyes came back to me. You signed everything, he said. My breath caught. Everything. The papers. The messages. It was all connected. You don't understand, he continued, his voice low, cold. After tonight, none of this will be yours. I felt my legs weaken. I grabbed the edge of the table to steady myself. You're lying, I said. But my voice had no strength, no belief. He didn't argue. He didn't need to, because we both knew the truth. I swallowed hard, tried to think. Maya. The call. She was still there, listening. I just had to keep him talking, just a little longer. What do you want? I asked, trying to sound calm, trying to buy time. He stepped closer again, now only a few feet away. You already gave it to us, he said. My heart skipped. What? I whispered. Your trust, he replied. The words hit harder than anything else, because they were true. I gave my husband everything, and he used it against me. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to stay focused. You won't get away with this, I said, my voice shaking, but louder now, stronger. For a second, his expression changed, just slightly. Then he chuckled, soft, almost amused. Who's going to stop us? He asked. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. But then, something changed. A sound, faint, but there, outside. Daniel heard it too. His eyes shifted toward the door, just for a second, but it was enough. My heart jumped. Hope. For the first time. Hope. Then a loud knock. Firm. Authoritative. Daniel froze. Completely. Another knock. Police. Open the door. My heart exploded in my chest. Relief flooded through me. Daniel's calm expression cracked. Just for a moment. But I saw it. Panic. Real panic. He turned back to me. Fast. Angry. What did you do? He snapped. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. 'Cause now, everything was changing. The knock came again. Louder this time. Open the door now. Daniel looked around. Desperate. Thinking. Looking for a way out. But there wasn't one. Not anymore. He took a step back. Then another. And I realized something. For the first time, he wasn't in control. I was. The door burst open. Officers rushed in. Fast. Focused. Don't move, one of them shouted. Daniel froze. Hands slightly raised. It was over. Just like that. Over. But my body didn't relax. Not yet. Because one question still burned inside me. Where was my husband? As they took Daniel away, I stood there, still shaking, still trying to process everything. An officer came toward me. Are you okay? He asked. I nodded slowly, but I wasn't okay. Not even close. Where is he? I whispered. The officer paused, looked at me carefully, then said something that made everything stop again. We're bringing him in. My heart dropped. Bringing him in. That meant one thing. This wasn't just Daniel. This was bigger. Much bigger. And as I stood there, watching everything fall apart, I realized something that broke me completely. The man I loved, the man I trusted, was never who I thought he was. And the truth was finally catching up to him.